Good morning, kids. Today we're checking out a brand new video from a True Green 7 where he turns even more cartoon characters into Pokemon. Let's hop in and see who gets inked.
Hey guys, Ron here, and for
Ooh,
almost
so
2
loud.
years now I've been making videos where I turn video
Ooh, that's a little loud. Hold on.
game characters into Pokemon.
There we go.
Eventually I turned
That's
anime
better.
protagonists into Pokemon. Recently I've been turning memes into Pokemon, and a few months ago I finally decided to turn cartoon characters like Bugs Bunny and Aang into Pokemon. Some of my
Classic.
favorite Western animation mascots are actually perfect as inspiration for this series. After all, my two most favorite interests are Pokemon and animation, and this series is a perfect way to combine them. So please,
Damn right.
if you enjoy this video and want to see part 3, leave a like and subscribe because it's genuinely what I was born to do. But first, a special word from the Ad Bombasno.
Hello, everybody. I'm the Ad Bombasno, and today's sponsor is Manscaped, the premium brand for men's.
Okay, that's actually kind of cool, but we'll go and take a cut. And now here we go to the actual art.
Taking us back to the 1940s with Tom and Jerry. Everybody knows Tom and Jerry, right? Even if you don't, I think you can
Okay.
discern the relationship this little cat and mouse duo
Yep.
have. I want to make these two Pokemon who have a
Classic.
rivalry akin to Seviper and Zangoose, although a bit less bitter. So they will share some design elements like a scar or cut, perhaps. But most importantly, they'll be based on angels and devils. I want to make a
that's
little
good.
fairy-type mouse that looks angelic and a demonic cat that chases after the mouse. Something lighthearted and silly, though, like the angel and demon on your shoulder trope. It'll
Yeah,
be easy
okay.
translating animals into Pokemon, but also tough trying to find the balance between making them clearly Tom and Jerry, but also not literally Tom and Jerry. I mean, it's simply Jerry
find that
stylized in a
balance.
slightly more Pokemon style, but I'm basically keeping every feature, especially that curly hair he has on his ear, since I can add that to the Tomcat Pokemon to showcase similar traits. Dude will be running away on all fours. He has a tuft of hair on the top of his head that looks like a halo, and some fur on the back that
I
looks
see
like
it.
wings. Now he looks like a little angel, refining everything before adding this sharp knife tail. As you can see, my guy has a piece of his ear missing, which looks like the Tom
Ouch.
Pokemon sliced a chunk out of. Our Tom Pokemon will also have a slice in his ear that was taken out by this mouse Pokemon's tail. In reality, they're born with this slit. I mean, the entire species has it, just like how Zangoose and Seviper are born with their scars. The spot
Yeah,
on this
okay.
Pokemon's stomach will represent the sun. That's why I added pink, which will complement Tom's blue. I originally added a sunspot on the head, but that will be taken out shortly, harmonizing the colors and finalizing
There
the
we
eyes.
go.
Say hi to Sharpray, the meddling Pokemon, a fairy
Oh, and
type.
look, the shiny is just regular Tom. I mean, Jerry. I love it.
From Sharp, both mentally and physically, and Prey, but also like the verb to pray with an AY, since it's based on an angel. Both halves of the name are puns. Sharpray
love
are
it.
curious creatures. They are highly intelligent, and will even approach their enemies to learn more about them.
I think
They
that's just
can take their
nostalgia
love of
talking.
fun too far, as it gets them closer to danger. Luckily, they're incredibly fast, but even when chased, they will take the opportunity to strike back when possible. They only mess with those who have shown animosity to them. They rarely fall for the tricks of their predators. They will frame their enemies by making them seem guilty of Sharpray's pranks. At the end of the day, Sharpray is benevolent and quite caring, and will even share food with their predators to deter them from attacking Sharpray. In battle, they use their razor-sharp tail to swipe at opponents. In the wild, they cut down tall grass using their tail to reveal the hiding predators who wish to attack Sharpray. They have the abilities Prankster, Super Luck, and Justified. I do
What
enjoy
does
the
Super
contrast
Luck
between the soft
do?
attributes and sharp tail. It looks bright-eyed, yet ready for business. The slice in the ears will complement Tom's Pokemon design, as well as its clear angelic or even cherubic design. Tom time! So I'm prioritizing
here we
the
go.
head before moving on to the body. I want it to resemble
You know, I do kind of like how it acts again a 2-for-1 deal.
But with some fur that looks like devil horns. Make him look more sinister and even giving him the same snout as Sharpray. And of course, the ear
Yeah,
slice.
okay.
I want the body to have the same cartoony nature as Tom, while still fitting in with Pokemon's aesthetic. Adding a moon pattern on the belly and larger, more padded forearms, so it's not a literal tomcat. That's why the claws will
Alright.
look more feral, giving it Weavile and Zoroark energy, with a hint of Morgrem and Zarude. Finalizing the
Yeah,
shape,
yeah.
patterns, and tail before adding Tom's bluer color palette, but dark to showcase its typing and to contrast with Sharpray. The rest is literally Tom's color scheme. Beware,
And
Predator,
there.
the impulsive Pokemon, a dark type from Predator and Purr. Just like Tom, it's not as clever as Jerry.
Now, with the Jerry one, you would actually want to, well, you know, shiny hunt. But with this one, the Tomcat, you probably wouldn't want a shiny because then you just get the black cat. And if you want to go for the basic show, well, you got to go basic Tom, but shiny Jerry.
Jerry's name.
There
Predator
we
have an
go.
intense rivalry with Sharpray. It spends its days trying to catch its prey with traps to no avail. Their attacks usually backfire, causing Predapur to yell at deafening volumes. It is surprisingly resilient and limber. They are known to withstand great blows and falls from great heights. Their body can easily contort, allowing them to minimize damage and get into tight spaces. They shred their opponents with their claws and are even known to trample. Predapur easily makes enemies and will reluctantly fight them off. While vicious to wild prey, Predapur are relatively fine house Pokemon and very dutiful pets. They have the abilities Limber and Rivalry with the hidden ability Defiant. Its shiny is modeled after Butch, the black cat that is sometimes Tom's friend or enemy depending on the situation. I'm glad the silhouette does look like a demon, and the color scheme translates really well. I was scared that having this Pokemon look exactly like Tom wouldn't translate into Pokemon style, but changing unimportant things like its paws to introduce Pokemon elements was a good choice. I also like how both Fakemon were designed together to share small details like the ear, fur, snout, belly pattern, and of course, the ear slice.
Hold on, folks, we gotta take a cut. And we're back. Moving on
Next
from
you
a
have
cat
the
mouse.
One Piece of Western animation.
The Simpsons? Huh. Okay, I guess we're doing Homo.
The Simpsons. Is that controversial to say? The point is that they're both long. Homer Simpson, however, won't be easy to translate since it's not like he has, powers like Luffy. And I obviously have to keep his bright yellow skin in mind, which doesn't really work unless a Pokemon is small or cute or intentionally creepy. I'm gonna turn him into a pig. I mean, it's the animal most similar to Homer, but I'm also gonna add some kind of dessert theme with some kind of donut element. We'll experiment with the type as we go. Instead of a Homer-shaped head, the entire body will be a combination of Homer's head and body. A similar nose and eye shape with a more pronounced brow, so it's not a Homo sapien face. I gotta keep the famous Simpson matte graining lip with stubby arms. Not too muscular. Homer's hair will simply be stripes on the fur. His stubble will be dirt, and his tail will curl up into the shape of a caked earth donut, adding more earth on him and an idiotic grin. That'll go in the final design, but for now, you'll have to look at it. I gave it this tiny ear, but that'll get much bigger soon. Literal Homer Simpson colors with some dirt and some pink to honor both the donut and the fact that it's a pig. It also looks like a dessert with banana, strawberry, possible mocha flavor, and eventually chocolate. The final version will look less ape-like, although a primate pig is kind of the concept. Here is Hagrin, the slob Pokemon, a poison ground type. Hagrin is constantly snacking, converting the sugar from its food into crystals that surface on its body and harden. Their fat is stored on their top half and used as protection from attack. It is extremely lazy and will even consider surrendering when attacked, since its resilient body may handle the damage. It can withstand high levels of radiation. Hagrin produces a loud yelp when in danger. They are dim-witted, yet caring and surprisingly thoughtful. While they are tough to train, Hagrin is a reliable companion. They are known to lash out when provoked, but will immediately forget about revenge. They do not like to perform manual labor, despite being physically powerful. Its sugary fumes are so sweet, they cause headaches and nausea. Hagrin's sugary ringtail smells incredibly sweet. It attracts other Hagrin, who will nibble on each other's tails, forming a complete ring of Hagrin. They have the abilities Sticky Hold, Gluttony, and the hidden ability, Thick Fat. Their shiny is even more pig-like, but also completes the flavor trifecta of strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. Originally, I wasn't too proud of this design, but it ended up looking incredibly endearing. A little guy I can rely on to cheer me up. Stupid, but funny. And it totally embodies all that Homer is in one compact design.
Definitely.
Now let's go back to the golden age of animation and pick up a sailor you're all familiar with. Popeye, the sailor, famous for powering up by eating spinach. You'd think that I'd lean into the spinach aspect a bit more, but it's not like he's made of spinach, so I won't make him a grass type. He won't be eating spinach either, since that doesn't really exist in the games. You can't even put it on your sandwich in Paldea, let alone in a Sailor Man. So I'll lean into the whole sailor aspect and make him a sea creature with big
water fighting. Hell yeah.
Once again, super tough since we're translating a literal man into a lobster. So we're starting with a basic Pokemon lobster with a pose as if he's walking away, but is turning back after being provoked or noticing a bully. I turned Popeye's eyebrows into antennas and even gave him his iconic scowl, with the little mouth antennules of a crustacean looking like lips and a nose. I then added a chin, and for the entire process, the challenge will be making it look less and less like a human face.
So I'm a little biased with this one because I freaking love Popeye. That was my show as a kid.
The rest is simply configuring Popeye's clothes into armor, like the stripe on his sailor collar showcased on this Pokemon's chest. Big meaty claws with protrusions that look like knuckles. The rest of the body is what you'd expect. The purpose will be more visible with color, though. A far larger version of Popeye's anchor tattoo that looks somewhat like a natural pattern on the Pokemon. The only thing left is representation for Popeye's hat. I can't give him a literal hat, but I can give it the silhouette of one, adding Popeye's colors, but that's when I noticed that the face isn't very noticeable now. It blends into the rest of the design that makes it hard to read. I thought making it bigger and toning down the chin would help, and it did a bit, but it wasn't until I took out the chin completely and made the head far bigger that it stopped looking like a human face.
Oh.
The line on his chest looks both like pecs and a chin, so it works. This is Lobstrike, the Bruiser Pokemon.
Oh,
a
look at
water
that
fighting
shiny.
type. From Lobster and
It's
Sprite.
awesome.
Lobstrike are honorable brawlers who pack a powerful punch. They mutter as they walk on the beach, politely greeting local Pokemon and humans. They are compassionate, yet have no patience for those who prey on the weak.
I love
Upon
it.
laying eyes on a bully, Lobstrike will try to intervene. However, it won't strike until hit. Their upper body independently rotates, allowing Lobstrike to spin its head and arms at propelling speeds, throwing consecutive punches. Lobstrike stores extra berries in its closed claws. It will open its claw and chow down to re-energize during battle.
Now I
After
see
a
the
mighty
claws.
brawl, this Pokemon returns to the sea and continues to explore. They often land on exotic islands and befriend a new set of locals, sharing its berries in the process. Its abilities are Iron Fist, Hyper Cutter, and a new hidden ability called Strong Finish, which boosts
I
attack
like.
when a held item is used, as a nod to the fact that Popeye is strong to the finish when he eats his spinach. Its shiny is a nod to the shorts where Popeye would be wearing his white sailor uniform. While his design process
Love
was a
it.
tumultuous journey, I think the Pokedex entry and lore did make me like the guy, and even make his design make more sense, I guess. It was tough
yeah,
giving
no
a lobster
doubt.
human attributes since they're kind of like the opposite of humans, while also trying to make it look specifically like a cartoon sailor. In the end, it's the most faithful adaptation today in terms of concept, but mostly since Popeye was the first and only superpowered cartoon character in this video, so I could
Yeah,
directly
kind of.
translate his powers into this Pokemon's, moveset and power.
I wouldn't say he's super powered because, he's a regular guy. He just eats spinach. So it's more like the spinach is the power. Oh, hold on, folks. Gotta take a cut. Alright, folks, let's finish this off.
Power set. Okay, let's actually do a modern cartoon character now. Hopefully you consider 2010 modern, because
Or
we're going
Jake.
to do Finn from Adventure Time. But
Yeah,
this time, I
Finn!
don't think it's going to be an animal. Let's retain the humanoid aspect. I have an idea of combining aspects of Jake, Beemo, and Finn all together into our design by making our Pokemon metallic and stretchy to retain the Adventure Time aesthetic. That way
That'd
the
be
sword
cool.
will be part of his body. I mean, a bit like Finn's later swords. A steel Pokemon that can conjure weapons, basically. Also makes a lot of sense for a noble knight.
Oh,
type
like
of
the
Pokemon.
Minecraft one
I
you
went for a
did.
more angular version of Finn's hat with a hole only big enough for the eyes, so it doesn't look like a human in a helmet. I mean, it kind of still does. More segments
Yeah,
like
kind of.
many other humanoid Pokemon, and noodly stretchy arms made of stretchy metal. But honestly, it feels like adding a mouth really pulls it all together. His arms can turn into
Look at
objects
him.
like his bro Jake. I felt the chest was empty, so I thought a spike that could be as soft or hard as he wants it to be would be a nice addition. It'll make sense in the Dex entry. Adding these rings, inspired by Finn's robot arm and shoes, and finally decided
Yep.
that giving him a round face would add more consistency and harmony.
Definitely.
In reality,
Look at that.
he's not wearing a helmet. He just has small eyes and there's a circular pattern around his face. Finishing up with Finn's colors minus the green, I decided to make his face blue to commit to the whole robotic aesthetic. Check out
I love it.
Humurk, the
Oh,
Sellsword
look at the
Pokemon,
shiny.
a steel fighting type, from human, Mercury, and mercenary, since that's technically what Finn is. Humurk's limbs are made
yeah.
of a malleable metal that can change shape and density. In battle, Humurk happily turns its hand into a sword to take down opponents with. It merrily searches for adventure and lends its abilities to just causes. It often acts on impulse and boredom, but will always come to its senses. It can easily forgive those that have wronged
Like a
it.
child.
Humurk's pliable body is squishy around friends and tough when facing enemies. It can inflate the size of its hand into a wrecking ball fist. When all else fails, its last resort is to give its enemies a hug, ultimately impaling them with his chest spike.
Oh.
Humurk has the abilities Iron Fist, Sharpness, and Steely Spirit. His shiny makes him look more like a human, with a touch of Jake colors. It was tough coming up with its Dex entry,
I love
since
it.
I'm currently rewatching Adventure Time after never finishing the last 20% of the series, so I didn't want to go, too deep into the research and spoil anything for me. But
don't worry about it.
design-wise, it's the perfect balance of faithful and transformative. It works. And if you think the entire video works, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see a part 3. Let me know in the comments which cartoon character you want to see Pokemonized next, and make sure
Well, folks, that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below. And I'll see all you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.